Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. This is episode 2 of our Grimgore Ironhide campaign, and I would like to thank you guys so much for the warm reception. I was nervous bringing Grimgore back to the channel, but you guys were overwhelmingly supportive of the idea, and I am very excited to hear that. One thing I did not talk about is our victory conditions in the last episode. We need to, for a short campaign victory, control a few regions around the world. These are kind of spread out all over the place, which gives us actually a lot of freedom with where we want to go. But there's one particular building on this list that I think I want to own. I think it's going to be a big point of contention in our campaign. Because, of course, last campaign in Season 2, I played Belegar, whose main objective was to own Carrick 8 Peaks. It took us hours and hours and hours to finally get over there, but when we claimed it, it felt great. And the fact that I see it on this list, and I know that Grimgore could deny that from Belegar in this campaign, that just sounds too good to pass up. So Carrick 8 Peaks is my jewel to the west that we are going to try to strive for. We also have a long campaign victory. All we have to do is either unite all of the orcs under my banner or have them destroyed. You can get this without even doing anything if other factions around the map kill them. So pretty straightforward campaign. I hope we have some fun with it. I did upgrade our looter in between episodes because we got a little bit of XP after that previous siege. Next time we level up, we'll finally be able to get Ironhide, which is going to be huge for Grimgore. And I did get, I will right now, get some bonus training under Scram, because very soon we're going to be moving a lot of these units out of our army in hopes of getting some upgrades. Our immediate goal is to march on the ogres to the south and hopefully start to take them down. We could also look to the west and maybe see about confederating some of these orcs over here if we wanted to kind of grow our army very, very quickly. We've been aligning the pockets of Kolek, and so far, he's not moving in on us. He is kind of walking this way, and he did just wipe out one of the ogre factions. But we'll see if our bank account buys us a little bit of time with this guy. I would prefer not to fight him right now. Again, thank you guys for joining me. If you're enjoying this series and you're not subscribed already, then that's the best way to stay up to date with it. We're trying to release episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday until this campaign is done. One final thing to finish up on turn 5. We are going to get Go Faster, which is going to give us more campaign movement range. But more importantly, this is an upgrade we need to start pushing towards helium mushrooms, which is going to give us even more casualty replenishment rates. We need that when we're in the middle of a war and we're striving to leave the biggest war path possible. That ends this turn. Let's see, keep an eye on Kolek, keep an eye on the ogres, and see how it plays out. So Kolek actually pushed further to the northeast, and Norska took over the ruined city that the ogres previously occupied. Why didn't he just do that? He was in melee range. Well, maybe they're going off into the glade. I suppose our next building to watch would be these guys over here. If Grand Cathay loses this building, we know the Chaos Wastes is moving northeast. Army up here with Argor. Just recruited some orc boys last time. Well, we're gonna fill this group up with some goblin archers as well. Is our control getting any better here? No, it's at -3. We're about to have some problems. Yeah, we're about to have a rebellion at Saber Mountains. It happens at -100, I think, and we're at -89 right now. We're losing 3 a turn, so that is looming. There are some ways we can fix that. There's some buildings we can make. We already have the province thing to give us extra control and extra growth. I cover that up with my face cam so you guys can't see that. I kind of thought that area would be doing a little bit better without me there. There's also some talents we could get for Scram or Grimgore that improve their control when they're in regions, but they're not in those regions right now. So maybe that wouldn't be the most useful thing. Well, the ogres are starting to mass a little bit. That army will be considerable, because that would be a garrison, a 1-stack, and then a new recruiting lord on top of that. I could dip down to the side here and grab Carrick Vrag, I think pretty easy, and we could start to invest some more money in this place. It's going to be 1,000 to colonize, and if we want to build up this place, it's going to be another 750. But this gives us a foothold in the ancient giant lands, which is being occupied by 2 other ogre factions. And these guys don't seem as intimidating just yet. I will bring Ogre down probably next turn to hold this pass here, just to make sure we're not pushed in on. And let's make sure we're paying our taxes. If I can stop this guy from moving in on me for a little bit, I want to do that. We're actually positive with influence above 1, I think, for the 2nd time. I think that's gone down in the past as well. 3,000 gold left. Our unit cost is going to start skyrocketing, so we probably need to get in combat next turn. Kolek, we're good, right? We're good, right, bud? To be fair, he is trespassing, and I could tell him to leave. I don't think I will. Granite Spikes is also what he attacked last time in our campaign. So far, he's just looking at it. If he does attack it, that's going to be problematic. What's our control down here? We're at 92. Although it's getting better, we're only losing 2 a turn now instead of 3 a turn. I'm also negative 83 gold per turn right now with just our upkeep in our armies. So here is what we are going to do. Ogre is going to head down with underway travel. I thought I could go a little bit farther. Maybe I'll just march. Ogre is going to head out and hold this pass. Grimgore is going to march stance as well. And we're going to go try to meet up with Ogre as soon as we can. If Kolek attacks, we're going to have to deal with that when we can. But our goal for next turn is to bring our double stack forward towards the Eagle Eyries. If we can remove this ogre faction, there'll be a limit. If we can destroy this place, this ogre faction will be eliminated, and at least free up some of the pressure on us right now. We can also upgrade a city. I'm gonna upgrade Ice Spewer. It looks like he's going for, well, he's in marching stance. He could just be moving across the map. I'm gonna upgrade Ice Spewer. It'll take 3 turns for that to be done. Our main capital of Saber Mountains is also going to be done next turn, and we'll be able to maybe build something to help with this control. We'll see. I'm going to hold on to the rest of my money and end this turn as well. All eyes on Kolek. He's going towards Blizzard Peak now. Still in marching stance, so he's not going to attack. He's not raiding anything. He's just appreciating the architecture of Grimgore, I think, for the time being. I think we're chilling. Let me go ahead and just check on that status again. It's improving on its own every turn now, so we are becoming friends. He does have an aversion to me, and I am a strategic threat. But so far, our money is buying us time. I wonder how much long that'll stay true. Well, the ogres are set up down here. Their armies are getting better. Are we in range if we move in on this? It looks like we are, even without marching. So, we have Grimgore's main army, which is going to be moving forward. I'll bring them right here now. Then we have Ogre and his secondary army. I was going to see if I could recruit some units of renown, but that's a little out of our league for the time being. So we'll get him out of march stance as well, have him just walk on forward. If our units are close enough to each other in this spot, to help assist, we should see a line form for reinforcements. One of their guys isn't in the city. I'm thinking about just attacking him. We don't have reinforcements close enough, which is very odd. It says it's a close victory, and this is fighting the settlement garrison as well. I don't necessarily want to retreat, but I do want to take another look at this, because you should have been close enough, my good man. All right. Well, it says close victory with just Grimgore's army. I don't know why reinforcements didn't go in there, but let's see if we can win this on our own. Well, don't know if I've ever seen this before. Our battle is taking place at night. It is very dark and very hard to see. I worry about the YouTube encoder in here. It looks like part of the problem is we're in the shade of a gigantic mountain range as well, so even the moonlight is not reaching us. I'll try to brighten this up in post. It might look a little weird. My apologies for that. Our goal is to move in on this ogre and try to kill him before things get out of hand. Although I imagine reinforcements are going to be coming into this pretty quickly. Actually, we have 2 minutes to take this target down. I've split our army into 2 sections. Scram and the boar riders are going to run ahead immediately and just try to deal damage to the enemy general, while the rest of the army forms up and moves in as a group in a similar formation to what we were trying to do before, protecting our archers and catapults in the middle, but not quite as pretty as it was before. We can fix this as we advance as well. As for now, the boar riders are advancing. Scram is with these guys as well, so they should have some very good leadership. Once again, sorry, this is so dark this time around. I've never seen this before. Our boar riders are getting in range. If we can kill this guy within 2 minutes, we're going to be fine, although it doesn't look like they have favorable trades in here. What we might do is keep the boar boys running around and let Scram get in there and trade. These guys are actually being a phenomenal distraction for our main army that's advancing right now. And Scram is pretty good on his own. Let's get Grimgore in there as well. I'll send in the Great Axe Infantry as well. If these guys break rank a little bit, I think it's fine. We'll be able to group up the majority of the army after this. Of course, I don't want to be sacrificing these units over here, though, so let's make sure we're taking care of the boars. Again, I think Scram's just fine. We can actually use the boars to maybe deal damage to the other guys that are here. Catapults are going to take aim on this guy at the moment as well. If they can get in there and deal damage, that would be great. It looks like the enemy tried to get in and do some damage to our front line, but they were decimated. I kind of wonder how much of that damage these units took was friendly fire. Unfortunately, I kind of feel like it might be a lot. Grimgore has almost locked eyes with his opponent. I'm trying to get Scram out of here. It seems like he is taking a little too much damage, but also trying to send the boars back as well. Let's tell these guys to cease fire, get them back in formation. You know what? Let's just advance the whole army up here. Redo those orders for Grimgore. The reinforcements for the enemy team are starting to march in. That's why I wanted to advance my army a little bit here. Ogres are pretty fast, so we might see a similar thing where their leader kind of runs into my entire army and gets melted down really, really quickly. Once we can get our archers in position, these guys are going to be feeling a lot of pressure, as they are large units and we can fill them full of sticks quite nicely. I'm going to have Grimgore debuff this guy. I'm also going to run the boars out and maybe try to do a little interception stuff with them, just to buy us a little bit of time on this army advancing. If I can kill one leader and then move on to the next one, I would feel pretty good about that. That's double reinforcements coming in right now. Scram is a little roughed up. His health is maybe a third down, which isn't too bad. The enemy general is doing okay. My boars don't seem to be able to actually break out of this. Where are our axe boys. I must have, unfortunately, messed up their command when I told them to move. Okay, boars are breaking off and running towards the new units. We also want to get our catapult in range to deal damage to these guys as soon as it can. So I think to do that, I'm going to move the catapult off to the right, and we also have some shields that I was saving for just this occasion, and they will form up to protect that as well. Grimgore's still at full health, although our boars are breaking and running away. You hate to see that. Scram is moving up to the front now to be a distraction. I don't want him doing too much here. Let's call him back. Let's call him back. I was hoping for a better outcome here with them rushing this guy down, but I guess I shouldn't underestimate just how tanky these ogres are. They're literally in the dark! They're literally fighting in the dark! All right, the other army is starting to approach. Catapults are in position, and we're going to have them just start to unload on as many of these units as we can. They are in range now. Let's send that stuff towards them. The first leader is getting obliterated, and Scram's back in action too. We see the leadership plummeting on this guy as he starts to run. Okay, let's take a look at our formation. Is there anything we need to clean up? We could probably just straight up line up our front line here. I don't think we need to have a concave or anything to really protect it. I will send some orcs off to the right here. And where our front line is weak, the enemy general is dead. Where our front line is weak, we'll just stick Grimgore in that spot. Let's make sure Scram isn't overcommitting as the enemy forces are approaching. Remember, this is a full army that we have to deal with on top of the one that we just fought. And generally speaking, we didn't really... I'm going to send my axes to the side. We didn't really get into too much combat because Grimgore's Wa is still quite a long way away. But here we go. Arrows are starting to fly. This time at Targog, the enemy ogre who is approaching. Wait, he ran right into my axes. Let's just turn them around and start cleaving. That's going to be great. Grimgore is holding just fine. I do think I want to move these guys back just a little bit to form the lineup. Catapults are looking okay as well. Let's give them a better target, though. Just a more clumped up target on the side. Okay, enemy general is taking a beating. Arrows coming in from every direction. He's being filled up like a pincushion right now, already below half health. And this line just clashed. That's a fantastic spot to be in. Catapults are taking shots at enemies on the right-hand side. Our boars are okay, and we might be flanking with them soon. But it looks like our archers are mostly in range and doing a great job. I'm going to move up this front line a little bit just to reinforce. Enemy general is starting to run away as the arrows are overcoming his defenses. And Grimgore is still holding strong on the front line. I am so very pleased to see that. We are seeing leadership across the board really start to fall. As the leader goes to run, everyone else takes notice of that, and it doesn't make them feel as good about staying either. Let's get Scram on this guy. I want to make sure he doesn't die. I'm also going to call our boars back into action, who I've just been kind of idling on the side, waiting for them to feel ready to do something. Moving these archers up into position just so we could shoot at these spearmen on the right. And I'm going to start advancing for a flank with the rest of our shields that aren't currently in combat. The enemy general is starting to rally, and it looks like they are looking to flank around on the left. Well, we have archers in place to deal with exactly that, hopefully. Let's make sure they're not overlapping so they can free fire. And Scram should be on the way over to that general, although he's taking a beating right now. Uh-oh, Scram. I think I just noticed his health was low. I think he's doing fine. He's still plenty durable, I hope. But here's Grimgore's Wa to help settle the score, giving us huge damage increases army-wide. These lines that were previously almost breaking, we should see them decimating now. I'm also going to send our black orcs towards the enemy leader. I need to make sure we're actually clashing with him. Scram is still taking a lot of damage. I'm trying to get him out of there. Let's get these archers focused on peeling for him back onto the enemy general. If we lose Scram now, I'd be pretty upset. He has broken away. He has broken away. He still has some shots flinging at his back, but he'll be able to make it out of there no problem. More of the enemy line is breaking, their leadership plummeting in every single direction. Let's get catapults focused over here on the left. Enemy generals running towards our archers now. I don't think that's going to go too well for him. We're going to fill him full of sticks in no time. Look at him. He's literally a pincushion. You know, if you can see anything because of the shadows, are you serious? We're fighting in the dark. But victory has been achieved, even without reinforcements, even while being blinded in the darkness of the mountain. Grimgore's army was victorious. I have no idea if I can edit that to be watchable. It was so dark. I have no idea. That might be the radio show portion of this episode. Well, we do manage to take down, is the faction Ogre? I think so. Dotbot was the commander. We also fought the garrison as well, so the city defenses are roughed up, and all of their commanders are dead as well. We did take a little bit of a beating, especially Scram, who got roughed up real bad. So I'm going to eat the captives. You know, I'm a little hungry. We walked a long way. Get ourselves a snack and heal up the boys as much as we can. Now, since Ogre didn't participate in that fight, we should be able to... his range is just slightly too short. Well, with Grimgore, I'm going to walk up to the building. This is a decisive victory, so I'm going to take it. We already weakened the defenses here with that last battle, removed all of their leadership with that last battle. These guys are just scrambling to hold on to what they have left, and unfortunately, they have lost it. I got all of the upgrades for looting, which gives us more money, so I'm going to loot and occupy this. I'm also very aware that that means I'm going to have to repair something here. But remember, Grimgore and his boys were already roughed up, so we're just healing back up to full even faster than we would otherwise. At least that's my reasoning.
Now they'll see.
I'm not super excited with how Ogre played there, but you know what? We'll start walking him back home. Apparently, those ogres weren't as big of a threat as I thought. If he's not in a region where he can recruit. So if Kolek attacks, we have nothing there to defend, but we have officially reunited our second province for this campaign. And we're only -3 gold per turn right now to show for it. We got a massive 8,000, was it 6,000? From that battle. So our earnings are actually through the roof. So this is a good time to really focus on upgrading ourselves back at home. Saber Mountains is going to be my main recruitment hub. So we want this place geared out as fast as we can. We're going to build the Goblin Toolbox. This is eventually going to unlock more of those Doom Diver catapults that we have in our army. Very, very good artillery, very, very good siege. We're also going to upgrade the muster fields into the brawling grounds. This is going to give us access to the Orc Archer Boys, one of my favorite units. They are just so crazy effective. Very similar to the dwarves. Their crossbow guys are crazy effective. We are not at war with any of the other ogres just yet. We just had a scuffle with that one. At least that's what it looks like to everyone else. They don't know my intention is to own this entire mountain range in the very near future. We do have some XP for that. I'm going to get Ironhide. This is going to give us 30% casualty replenishment rate in the Lord's army. This means we're going to heal a ton all of the time, and our army can continue marching. The green tide will never tire, and we'll just keep moving through the lands as fast as we can. Although it looks like that's not the only thing we could do here. If we make it all the way to the end, we get even more campaign range. Our units become significantly cheaper as well. We haven't upgraded any of our combat effectiveness at all yet, which does have me a little worried. But if we put money into Mob Boss right now, we will be at a net positive. We went from -3 to 82 gold per turn. And keep in mind, as soon as those buildings upgrade, our army is about to get a lot more expensive as well with those new units. Scram was upgraded with Devastating Charge. That's going to give him a good charge bonus. We also equipped Scram. Wait a minute. No, I definitely equipped Scram with this. I did this before we started recording. Why did this undo? Maybe they're trying to auto-balance my equipment here, but it gives him melee damage and charge bonus. And because he's on that War Boar, I feel like that'll be really, really good for him. So hopefully that doesn't change again. With this city off to the right, we're just going to get our gold started in here. Whenever I have a new province, I either want gold coming from it, growth coming from it, or units that I can recruit, ideally. Kolek did kind of step away from Granite Spikes. Let me go ahead and try to upgrade that. If he attacks it, that's going to suck. That's going to be money wasted. But we did unite another region when we took the Eagle Eyries. I hope I'm saying that right. We're going to do the same thing we were doing before. Improve our control and improve our growth. Growth basically affects how fast our settlements are going to be expanding. The more growth we have, the faster we can get to investing in more money per turn. Because remember, every time you upgrade a greenskin camp, you are getting more passive income as well. But it also means I can make our pile of shiny stuff better and just improve our overall economic spot pretty easily. With our next upgrade, we're going to go for no infighting. This once again is leading us towards that casualty replenishment rate. My strategy is I want my casualty replenishment rate to be as good as possible, so when the WA happens, I never have to stop fighting. And that ends our turn. All eyes on Kolek. See what he does. Kolek is moving back towards his territory. Wonderful. The Darkland Orcs are reaching out. They want a non-aggression pact. Their strength 110 compared to Grimgore's mighty 37. And these guys are on my path to get to Carrick 8 Peaks. I think Confederation is in their future, not peace. At least not peace initially. They'll like servant Grimgore, it'll be fine. A great migration comes to your borders, demanding shelter from the large threats abroad. If I lose control, that's really bad. I wish I could close this and look, because if I'm losing control, it's not worth it. But the growth is so good. I don't think I can. I don't think I can.
Quest has been issued, mighty lord.
Oh, and we got our first quest.
Adventure beckons. Be wary, though, for while the potential rewards are great, so too are the perils.
That's over almost by the Shire. That's so far west. Okay, I know I could teleport to this as well. I'm gonna save my quests for later. I will do them, or at least try to. I will try to do them. Let's check in with Kolek. He's neutral with us right now. Let's give him another gift. Offer a payment. 800 gold well spent, if you ask me. Make sure that keeps improving to the best of our ability. Grimgore wants to continue his siege, but this isn't looking particularly easy at the moment.
It comes.
Let me get this guy back to recruiting territory. I might, you know what? How long do we have on this? Because Kolek seems to be playing by the rules, and because Kolek is friends with this guy, that means I'm, kind of acquaintances with that guy. What I'm thinking is removing everyone from the army here, just to help with income for a few turns, and then recruit the better units once the brawling grounds are done.
Who should we attack?
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure. Not sure if I want to do that. Let me keep marching Argor home. Grimgore is going to try to skip through some of these areas with the underway, but that doesn't look like it's happening super easily. These guys don't look too hard. I'm just saying. We've already done something crazy once. We might be able to attack these guys again, but we're still replenishing. So I'm going to start to underway across and maybe hit these ogres on the right. Notice they're deteriorating with me. So are these guys, but significantly slower. So I think the green ogres are probably going to declare war in the next couple turns. And if I can get there before that happens, we could hinder their growth quite a lot. To the east of these guys is going to be the Grand Cathay. So if I can get in good with Cathy, give them a little money every turn, that would mean our northern border is safe and our eastern border is safe. I don't know if the Grand Cathay has a problem with ogres or not, but they won't have a problem with money. I'm actually going to break the Musta fields. We already have one up here that's about to be upgraded. And that's literally like 2 steps away from Gorge of Rock if we wanted to recruit those units. I don't feel any need to do that. Let's just go ahead and... I don't want to spend any more money either. We need to keep a little bit of pocket change around. That is going to be the end of turn 9. Your warriors range deep into hostile lands, but not all is well. There are dark omens abroad, and if the shadow of some horde god was watching from an evil moon above, they can watch all they want. I need my money more than a god does at the moment. We did see some movement up here. Kolek went northeast. Let me check my relationship with these guys. We are neutral and improving. Perfect. And the ogres are actually not deteriorating anymore, but they will be soon as Grimgore once again underways to the east. I'm going to send Argor to Ice Spewer because our recruiting stuff just got done with the Brawling Grounds. I'm going to go ahead and kick out all of the goblins from his group if I can. Oh, I'm in marching stance. Oh, that might be a problem. So we'll recruit next turn. I won't do this now. I think that was just a little mishap. I didn't need to march here at all. Yeah, that's no big deal, though. We could save money for another turn. 412 is what we're getting. So Grimgore is marching east. We're going to bring the fight to these ogres. We're approaching our very first WA2. And you guys know how I feel about that. I'm going to shoot off like a rocket. The siege is going to be unrelenting once the WA begins. I probably should upgrade Carrick Rag just to get it started. We have 700 gold in the coffers, so we're not going to be able to do too much more. But let's get another money pit down in Ice Spewer. I like having the growth. I like having the money. I'm going to probably get a ton of those buildings throughout our campaign. Okay, because we're basically broke, I'm just going to recruit these guys slowly and kick out the archers that we have in our second army every chance I get. We'll probably recruit one of those guys each turn for the time being. My intention with my northern army is just to make sure Kolek doesn't step out of line. I also want to move them west to potentially look into confederating this army over here as well. Our secondary army was significantly weaker than Grimgore's because they didn't have access to siege equipment. But that issue is also resolved right now because the Goblin Toolbox is done. Not great, but it's done. I could start to get some of these pump wagons, but ideally what I'm really after are these Goblin Rock Lobbers, but we need another upgrade for that. Grimgore is within range of another ogre territory, and we are gonna declare war and march right over there. This is the Mountain Eaters, and they are strength 127. Well, we're going to lower that number quite a lot. Grimgore gets in range. This is a decisive victory. Yeah, I guess I'll just auto-resolve. Look at this pathetic garrison. No way they could stop our advance even a little bit. And we're just going to go ahead and occupy this. I don't see a reason to loot it. We probably didn't even get that beat up. No, everyone is totally fine here. Next, we are going to head towards their army. They do have a camp set up nearby. I don't think that's not an actual city. This is just like a recruiting station for them. So they are aware of our presence. They are aware that they lost that city. Let's see how they react to it. I'm going to continue to invest into mob boss for Grimgore because I want that recruitment cost to go down. Look at that. We're up to 1,000 gold per turn right now. This is for Ogre. I want to give him Route Master right away. Moving him around the map already has been a little tedious. So if we can improve that, I want to. And I'm just going to go ahead and recruit a second orc archer while we're waiting for the turn to roll over. The relationship with Kolek is deteriorating again, but we know how to improve that. And as our strength gets bigger, I've noticed the amount of money we've had to pay this guy has gone down as well. This is almost just unit upkeep for me, but the unit is making sure that Kolek doesn't get mad. That being said, this guy only has one settlement right now, so he can only get so strong, right? We're very easily going to start to outscale him, and then maybe our presence on the map will be enough to deter him away. Not sure. Just yet. There is a small ogre camp on the road. This is going to be a very, very easy auto-resolve. Just 3 ogres trying to hold the pass, but 2,000 gold coming from that. And I am going to take their treasury, get even more out of that if I can. Now, as Grimgore continues to advance, I'm going to put him in raiding stance. Raiding camp. That's going to allow him to recover his HP a little bit faster on his units. Now, the only army that these ogres have left is actually in Blood Peak, but their capital is this Yeti Peak to the east of me. If I can kill their only standing army, their only standing leadership, then taking Yeti Peak should be no issue whatsoever. In fact, I would say these guys have their days numbered pretty considerably, to be honest with you. The fun thing about orcs is when you get the WA, you have 20 turns to be as disruptive to the map as humanly possible. So, I'm going to recruit some catapults for this army. They're not great. These may not even be able to siege anything down no, it looks like these are like charge bonus things. In fact, I don't even want to spend my money on that. I was just trying to invest some value into this army before we started moving. So we're going to get 1,000 next turn. I'm buying enough archers to leave me with about 1,500 in our coffers. Taking down these ogre armies is actually helping us fuel the rest of our expansion quite a lot. This is Scram. I'm just going to continue to make him better with getting his melee attack up. Once your heroes get to level 20, they gain immortality. So as long as I can get him there, we shouldn't need to worry about his defenses. At least that's kind of how I'm viewing it right now anyway. Granite Spires can upgrade its pile of money. We can get another pile of money here. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. Get another pile of money here. So our funds are getting a little low, but we're investing it in more gold next turn. Kolek is still okay with us. Let's see how this rolls over. Oh, looks like Groth is trying to head home. They're abandoning the city-state in hopes of saving the capital. He's marching for that too. He is desperately running away. We're going to get out of our encampment stance and just walk right towards Blood Peak. This once again should be a extremely easy victory that we can auto-resolve. However, I am going to choose to raise this city instead. Oh, I was hoping that would be enough for the WA. I think I gain 1 passive WA rep. I don't know how you would phrase that. 1 gauge passively every turn, so we're 2 turns away from our first WA. I was hoping sieging this would help out. I'll just go ahead and colonize it. Whatever. We broke everything down. I'll pay for it to be rebuilt in the green skin image. How was our attitude with the rest of the ogres so far? Everyone's staying pretty kosher. Is this a dwarf?
You have seconds to live, Orc. Speak quickly before you die in agony.
Wait a minute. What if I befriend this dwarf? Who is he attacking? He's at war with Goldtooth, who are not these ogres, but it's an ogre faction. We're killing ogres. He would presumably like that, although that's a very bigger version. I just, in my mind, think about getting dwarven artillery at the back of our orcs as they're pushing forward, and that just seems like a very potent combination, doesn't it? That feels like it could be very good. Well, we will recruit 1 more archer here. Check in on Kolek. How's this looking? We'll send him a little peace offering if we can. Small gift, there's going to be 2,000. Kolek, how are you so strong? For now, I think we're okay. This is Grimgore once again going to improve our upkeep. Oh, I love making money. That's excellent. We really need to get our other general in combat so they can make money too. One thing I want to bring your attention to that we did not talk about in our original series, you could just barely see it to the right of my face. Crack Brag is able to make gemstones. This is a rare material that we can use for trading, but we also generate more money by processing these materials as well. If we build the Cave of Shinies, which we can only build here because of those gems, our income will be boosted by quite a lot. 300 on top of the 250 that we're getting from that pool of money. Now, here we go. Healy Mushrooms is going to be completed while our first WA is in play, if we can start it soon. And my plan is, with that WA, to completely mow over these mountains and there will be no debate that this is Grimgore's mountain range by the time I am done. We have had war declared on us by a very small ogre faction just south of some of this territory that we were taking over. We have a very easy response to that. Even though this guy is walking towards us with an army right now, I'm not super worried because we can potentially underway there. I guess we'll see. Ooh, we're at war with 2 factions. This does make things a little more difficult. 1 to the west, 1 already pushing in on our middle territory, and 1 to the far east. Well. How do we respond to that? Well, Grimgore is going to underway stance immediately to Yeti Peak. He will take this over next turn. Argor is immediately going to underway to the east. It doesn't look like I can. Argor, I need you in combat. This guy could be really disruptive. That's a very big ogre stack. I need to deal with that before I deal with these orcs to my left. It's very possible the orcs to my left are just useless. Like, this is my biggest city. It's my biggest defense. If I take it, if they take it, don't get me wrong, that's really gonna suck. But Grimgore's best greenskin, those guys probably can't do it. I don't think they could do it.
The tribe's ready.
Is it a bit of a risk to leave my left side open on a hunch? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, I imagine we're going to be under attack next turn. I don't know if all ogres work the same, but I've had ogres totally outrun me on the campaign. I don't know what they do to get a boost, but my God, they can fly around a campaign map. This guy is heading into kind of a dead end. If he goes right, I have a city there. He goes southeast. I have a city there, so I don't think his warpath will be too bad. Here goes the attack. We gotta weaken him as much as we can. Oh yeah, that's not gonna go well. That's not gonna go well at all. Oh yeah, that's really bad. Well, it looks like we lost this settlement, boys. There he goes, clashing on our front lines. I'm trying to get a surround with nearly every unit I can, bringing the archers back to fill this guy full of sticks as well. We are actually seeing a pretty big leadership drop on the enemy leader, as I think he's taking more damage here than he expected when he clashed in with our line. But I also assume the moment we start to, lose any units, these guys are going to know what's up pretty fast. Although, I mean, seriously, dealing any damage to their leader right now, I feel like is pretty valuable. We've also almost built up to our WA already, which is pretty crazy considering just how long we've been in combat. It's only been a few seconds. But yeah, there's no win in this one, boys. The ogres are taking territory from Grimgore. The orcs are attacking from the east. Kolek only cares enough to be our friend because we pay him thousands of gold every turn. And the walls are closing in. I'll see you guys next time.